Okay, so I believe I am live now. One day I will get this. So, good evening. I am actually doing a YouTube live, and I want to kind of discuss. Let me make sure this live is live because the last time I had it private. Okay, let me make sure it's public. All right, it should be public now, but for some reason, every time I do this, I can never get it right. And it's automatically at unlisted. So, okay, so I am live. Okay, so what I want to talk about, kind of, if you're looking at my computer right now, you may not see me, because I am still working on this, but you can see, my computer. Um, so right now, what you're looking at, is the U.S. debt clock. Uh, really wish you can see me, but for some reason I can't get my camera to, I don't know, sync with the software that I'm using. So right now, what you are looking at is the U.S. debt clock. That is how much debt we have, incurred in, the United States. As you can see, U.S. national debt is 20, what is this? 100,000, million, billion, 20 trillion. Um, and that's the national debt. And it's broken up into, different things. But what I really want to point out, are two items, is the U.S. total debt, which is 69 trillion, and if you see right here, the two items I want to point out is the student loan debt, which is 1 trillion, and the credit card debt, which is 1 trillion. And what does this mean to you? If you look at here, total personal debt, 18 trillion. What does this mean to you? And I know you may be wondering, Lorelia, how does this relate to me? And how does it relate to you is I kind of want people to kind of think, where they're at. And the latter part of 2017, I had, said that I was going to, begin a new initiative. And that new initiative was to start to tell people and teach people how they can leverage their credit to be able to, move forward financially. And the reason why I wanted to, I wanted to focus on that is because I started off saying that, being debt free is really, it's a flawed system in regards to, um, it's all relative. It's relative to how much money you bring in your personal, um, should I say, personal household. And what do I mean by that? Like I said, if and I did this and if you look at any of my videos, at the latter part of 2017, I was discussing in those videos that if you eliminate your main source of income, and for 90% of the public, that's usually, their job. If you ask the person, how do you earn your money? most people will tell you that they earn their money from a job. And so I said that imagine a person who was on their, I would say they're on their mission that they want to be debt free. I want to be debt free. My goal is to be debt free. And they eliminate all their consumer debt and they increase their credit score. And lo and behold, they lose their job. And if they lose their job, what happens is they are now back in debt again. And so that's why I said that being debt free, why it's truly flawed. It's a flawed system, and it's a flawed system in regards to what people are really moving forward to. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody that if your goal in life is to be debt free, don't pursue it. But I want you to really look at this clock that's going on. Like I said, this is the US debt clock. And if you focus on the three items that I told you, which is the US total debt in the trillions. But if you look at the student loan debt, which is 1 trillion, and credit card debt in 1 trillion, a few years ago, I wrote a blog post that said financial ignorance is $1 billion industry. And so now financial ignorance has become a $1 trillion industry. And when I say this, this is not to insult anyone or to tell people that they are ignorant, but it is to awaken some people on what this clock means. So when I originally started the video, I said, okay, you're looking at this US debt clock. And for most people, they would say, okay, well, that has to do with the Americans or the population in the US. How does this relate to me? Well, this is how it relates to you. And I'm going to pull up a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to type in and I'm going to show you what this means. Because for some people, becoming debt free probably will not happen. And what do I mean by that? Let me show you. So at this point, you should be looking at in a spreadsheet. And so in that spreadsheet, um, I am going to show you a U.S. citizen. A U.S. citizen who makes 40,000 a year. And you know what? I'm going to give that person some more money. I'm going to give that person 58,000. And this is how much the person earns. And so they have debt, personal debt. Now, this is personal debt is including credit cards. And I'm going to put over here credit cards, possibly a mortgage. You know what? I'm not going to even throw the mortgage in there. I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to say credit cards, maybe some personal loans, and just expenses that they have on a monthly basis. And so that person has credit cards. You know what? Just to make this cleaner, because I don't want to confuse people. I'm going to throw the mortgage in here. And so this person has a mortgage. And now don't let my numbers scare you, because I'm actually in the northeast part of the United States. So, these mortgage numbers are realistic, and these numbers are realistic in regards to a person who could possibly earn 58,000 in the state of New Jersey and and still have these, these types of debts. And so they have outstanding loans of about 200. You know what? I'm going to call a spade a spade. Now remind you. And we're going to add those infamous student loans on there. Now, this is a real life picture of what I was talking about. And I'm going to put it in red because we are in the black. I mean in the red. So I want to format that. Okay, this doesn't really work like I want it to. Nevertheless, not like that. Okay, so the reason, if you all don't know why I made this red, is because we are in the hole. And so this is what this US citizen, this is their financial picture. And so this is what relates to that. So let me show you. This person earns 58,000. This is their salary. This is their yearly salary. And this person has, like I said, credit cards, personal loans, home equity lines of credit that totals out to 300,000. And then they have student loans of 110. They have, now remind you, on these two items, interest is being calculated on these numbers. So we know that in a year's time, or if you don't know this, that these numbers will change. Now, for those who say, well, Luria, that's it's not fair for you to put that mortgage there, is because the mortgage is for 30 years. Well, let's bring the mortgage down here. And now the person is only in the hole 30,000. So now the person only has credit cards, maybe a home equity line of credit of 30,000. And now this has become a mortgage because we have the people who may feel like, well, the mortgage is for 30 years. And that is regarding if the person is not facing foreclosure or what have you. This is a person who has a loan and possibly has it for 30 years. So now what does this mean? What this means is that this is this picture right here. Let me make sure these numbers are right. Yes, okay. And we're going to turn this red because these are negative numbers. And so here we go again. The person is in the red, 382,000. This is their net worth, meaning that they have more debts than they have income coming up. I mean, that they earning. So when a person says this does not, I don't relate to this. If you don't relate to this, it's because you don't understand this. And this is what a lot of people, this is what their financial picture looks like. And that's why I said, you know, being debt free is really flawed. Because this right here, when I said that financial ignorance is $1 trillion industry, as you can see, of this US total debt, what are the two biggest debts? Now, according to here, is mortgage debt. But these two debts right here are a big problem for a lot of people. This one, the student loan debt, and is really a big thing because mortgage debt can be eliminated through bankruptcy. Credit card debt can be eliminated through bankruptcy. This right here is not. So what do you tell the person? Because like I said, the reason why I'm doing this video is to really point out why being debt free is really flawed and why you need to consider another game plan. You have to. So let me share a story with you. My computer is running low. Let me see if I can find a cord. Find me a cord. Find me a cord. I don't know where the cord is to this. Um, Call Jaden and tell him to find a cord. This is it. Okay. I may can spare some more time. So let me find my cord. So let me share a story with you. So the reason why I'm talking about all this is because one is back to what I said about um, why people really need to really look at their financial situation. Because how would a person get out of debt with these numbers? I want people to really consider, how would you do it? Now, if you don't know the answer to that, the only way that you would be able to do it is you have to increase this number. This is the income. And so if what I said is true, that 90% of the people, if you ask them how they earn their money, they tell you they earn it from a job. How are they going to increase this? Because most people are earning what they're earning is because a job is telling them that is what they're worth. They're worth 58,000. So the average person is going to say, "Well, I want to raise this number. So let me look for a job that is going to pay me more money." And so if they're looking for a job to pay them more money, society has brainwashed people to believe that in order for them to earn more money, they're going to have to get an advanced degree. So what happens is that person goes back to school and now this number gets larger. So now this number becomes 180. And then let's not forget the interest because when you went back to school, you put the 110 in forbearance, and that 110 became 115, and now we're at 185. So now the person goes to school, okay, well maybe they did get the degree, they still may only earn about this much. They're still in the red. So that's why I said this right here, this US debt clock, this is why this number is increasing, because people do not understand this. They don't understand what their picture looks like. I think a lot of people are just singing a song that they've heard so many people say. Now, this is not to discourage people to say you'll never get out of debt, but many people need another plan. See, what happens is that to, you're going to have to, this never works for me. Insert above. Okay. You're going to have to add on 2 other streams of income, at least one more. Start off with one more. And so imagine if we could add on another, this is going to be black because they're positive numbers. Now we're able to pay this down some. We may can even wipe this out. So now the numbers are going down, and remind you the mortgage maybe going down too. But you see what I'm saying? So now these numbers can begin to come down, because these other 2 income streams, and these numbers should be black. These other 2 numbers right here should go up, because your goal is to make these numbers bigger than that number. So imagine if you could add on 2 other streams of income. This is what people need to focus on, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to lower this. Now, the reason why I bring all this up is because, but before I go into that, no, let me go ahead and tell the story. So the reason why I bring all this up is because this weekend, as much as I do videos, encouraging people why it's so important to invest in themselves and everything, and um, to understand how the game is played, because most people do not realize that that this is really a game. And and so I recently went to a 3-day seminar, and during this seminar, it was really a seminar um, to expose people to um, advanced strategies in regards to wealth building and what have you. And so, we talked about what holds people back financially. And what really holds people back financially is their lack of knowledge. Um, and really, in 2018, 21st century, there's no reason why a person would lack knowledge, because all the information is there. But so I say that to say that now is not the time, with this number being what it is, US national debt student loan debt, credit card debt being in the trillions. Understand that debt, being in debt is a $1 trillion industry. And you are either going to be a beneficiary of it or um, a victor of it. Not a victim, but a victor. And so um, it was something else that I wanted to point out. Oh, this is what I wanted to do. So if this number doesn't scare you, U.S. total debt 69 trillion. I don't think people understand how big this number is. But I recently did some research to see who are the world's billionaires. So Forbes did their 30th anniversary in 2017, and they gave Forbes 2017 billionaires list, meet the richest people on earth. And so if you see what it says on here, on the 30th anniversary of Forbes Guide to the World's Richest, we found a record of 2,043 billionaires, 233 more than a year ago. In total, they are worth 7.7 trillion. Do you see what that says? They're worth 7.7 trillion. So you so I don't know if you all realize, but if you that really says that if you took the richest people in the world, their net worth is 7 trillion dollars, but the US total debt is 69 trillion. 69 trillion. US national debt 20 trillion. Now I don't know in whose lifetime this number is going to disappear. But the one thing we know is this number is going to get bigger, student loan debt. Why? Is because people are still subscribed to the age-old advice to go to college, accumulate debt, and hope to get a job that is going to pay off that debt. And I'm not here to say that college is a bad thing to do, but I am here to say that many people need to find alternative ways if they do not want to pass on those habits to them. So normally when I do these videos, my goal is to enlighten you on things that have to do with credit and debt or what have you. But this I just wanted to just show you right here. Now, of course, if you are starting your journey in regards to credit, what I want to point out to you is don't forget to check out my book. Yes, I am going to plug my book. This is the book. If you go to freebook.yourmoneymentor.com, you will find it right here. Just so you can um, start your journey. And in the book, I go into the 3 types of debts because I think one time I did a live and I talked about this, about a 45-day game plan and what a person would need to do if they were trying to pay off some debt. Because a lot of people will just say, I want to, but not have a game plan. And I went into explaining to people that people need to know the nature of their debts. That is why I did this spreadsheet right here. So people can see what their financial picture looks like. See, I think a lot of people, when they start this journey, they are not clear on what the picture looks like. And I think really you should start there. Now, my goal is to the next live I do, I'm going to show you a credit report. Um, uh, Showing you some discrepancies that I'm noticing in the credit industry. But what I will say is that I usually I'm always getting an overwhelming response about, can you look at my credit report? Can you tell me? I got some questions or what have you. And so if you go to services.yourmoneymentor.com, everything will be below this video. The free book. This will help you if you want me to do a credit analysis. A credit analysis allows me to look at all three of your credit reports and give you an audit of those credit reports, showing you what is derogatory, where you stand financially. That is and then give you a game plan on what's next, what you want to do next. How would you proceed with your credit report? Because remember, I'm a big advocate of, in order for you to increase your credit score, it is made up of three things. Being able to read your credit report, being able to understand the laws that are out there that can help you to dispute some items, and then having an arsenal um, of supply in regards to letters to be able to dispute. Now, if you want me to do it, that is why I created this page, because um, now I don't have to deal with so many emails or messages regarding, how does this work? What does this mean on my credit report? Because this is what I will tell you, and most people will not tell you. And that's why in the next video the live that I do, a YouTube live, I'm going to show you real stuff. Is because it's easy for a person to give you um, a theoretical understanding of how this works. People are quick to, tell you from a theory standpoint, but really, how does it work when you are in the trenches? Because many people who are giving advice, they don't look at credit reports. They're not looking at them. All they're doing, they're very great at theory, giving you theory, but they are not looking at credit reports. And so the next few days, I may do the live tomorrow. I'm going to show you credit reports that I look at on a daily basis, showing you some discrepancies um, uh, that that could be holding you back. And so, like I said, this is a great way to get started. Like I said, you get 45 minutes session with me. I provide you with a credit analysis and a credit audit of all three reports. Like I said, you get a brain picking session, and this is the place where you would go to get started. So I understand you may feel like, oh, I even have FAQs on here. If you still have some more questions, I have testimonials of people that I've worked with before. And if that's not enough, you just want to start with the book, you can get the book right here. But this is what I will tell you. You may wonder, well, why can't you just answer a quick question? And I'm going to be very honest and frank with you. The reason why I can't answer a quick question is because what you're doing is unfair to you, because I can't give you advice on something I can't see. And I will tell anyone this, be very leery of people giving you credit advice and they have not looked at your credit report, because a lot of times, and I know this for certain because I deal with people on a regular basis, people will communicate to you by email from a standpoint that they understand. But when you look at the credit report, and I'm not going to even speak for because I can't speak for it, but I know when I look at the credit report, I have to look at it because the way they pose the question, whether it's by email or they're trying to message me or what have you, is not from the standpoint of their understanding. So that's why if many of you all are wondering, well, why don't I answer? Why can't I give you a quick answer through email? Is because I don't see nothing. And that's just like anybody going to a doctor and the doctor, you go to the doctor, you tell the doctor what's wrong with you, and the doctor doesn't examine you, he don't check your blood pressure, he don't do whatever he needs to do, but he just says, okay, I'm gonna write you a script or some on based on what you told me. The first thing that you would think, well, something got to be wrong with this doctor. He ain't looked at me. All I did was tell him some things, and now he going to just say, oh, well, this is what's wrong with you. Oh, you know, based on what you tell me, you sound like you got this. You know, you sound like you have that. Nobody would put up with that. Because the first thing you would say, well, how would you know, doctor, that I have that? Wouldn't you need to examine me? So that is how I am trying to explain to people with credit. I can't answer your credit questions based on people sending me an email. So that is why I put this together. And now for all those, and I want to address this, for all those who feel like, you know, with the comments on the videos of, well, you're selling stuff, this, that, and the other. I have over 200 videos on credit on this channel. Many of those videos are 30 minutes long. Many of those videos are videos of me teaching things, which is not something that many credit professionals are doing um, on YouTube. A lot of them are giving you quick sound bites, and it's nothing wrong with that. If you're looking for quick sound bites, nothing, by all means, those are the people you should listen to. But if you're looking for true help, true advice, then you're at the right place. So I don't feel bad with telling people this is, if you want to work with me, this is what it looks like, So I don't have no problem with that because I've provided a lot of free value. I have free articles on my blog. I have free audios, free videos. And so, like I said, I have no problem with asking people and telling people that if you want me, if you want my personal time for me to look at your credit report and you want a personalized session with me, this is what it costs. I have no problem with telling people that. So, like I said, still trying to figure out this YouTube live. Please be patient with me. I don't even know if the video is up here of me talking to you because it looks like on my end you all cannot see me personally. Um, and I'm not going to know that until this video is over. So look forward to talking to you in the next video. Like I said, all my in the next YouTube live, all my links will be below this. And okay, it was great talking to you tonight. Bye bye.